Hey folks, Chris once again, welcome back to a new video. This is a request assigned for Jade, and the name of this video is Terrifying Haunted Houses That Take It Too Far. Let's check it out.
Getting into the topic of today's video, I want to thank Rocket Money for sponsoring this video.
Rocket Money?
With rent, gas, and groceries becoming more and more expensive, managing your finances
Inflation's
is more important than
son
ever.
of a bitch.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that allows you to manage subscriptions, lower bills, monitor your credit score, and build your savings all in one place. My personal favorite feature is that Rocket Money can identify your recurring charges and cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, all with just a single click. There have been countless times when I've completely forgotten about subscriptions I never canceled. For example, I once signed up for a free trial to a premium membership on a food delivery app. I used that app maybe a few times before I forgot about it. When I had found out over a year later that I had never canceled that trial membership, I realized I'd been charged over $200 for that unused service. Rocket Money prevents this exact scenario from happening. All you have to do is open the app, find the subscription you want to get rid of, and press cancel. Rocket Money does all the work for you. Rocket Money also helps in lowering your bills. Simply upload a photo of your internet, cable, or phone bill, and Rocket Money will get to work negotiating your monthly payment. Rocket Money has helped over 3.4 million members manage their money better, and you could be one of them. Try it out for free and unlock more features with premium. Head to rocketmoney.com/Mr.
Okay, I'm not going to enter that because I don't know how, but okay. Shout out to him, man. Make a
The first haunted house on this list is Dead of Night. Dead of Night was an attraction run by the Chamber of Horrors on Long Island, New York that closed in 2015.
Oh, hell no.
It was regarded as one of New York's most extreme haunted houses, and it had one of the most horrifying haunt openings many had ever seen.
Oh my god. That's like hostel. That sounds like they had a fucking hostel or something.
We are here for your protection.
Everything will be okay. You are safe. We are here to protect you and care for you. We love you. Nothing is real. All.
I hate being touched anyway, so I wouldn't go to a haunt
suits who each grabbed an unsuspecting patron and dragged them into the attraction. However, you'd be lucky if you were dragged in. Some people were zipped into body bags and some were thrown over actors' shoulders and carried in. The attraction opened with this very strong abduction scenario. Then the focus shifted to humiliation, which included the smearing of strange substances on patrons' faces and even hitting people in the face with large and painfully heavy objects.
Wow.
Dead of Night has been discontinued from the Chamber of Horrors.
No
but
shit.
People to this day still hope to see it return.
I wouldn't want to go into that shit.
Illinois,
Hell, fuck
there's
that.
a haunted house called Miasma, which is just as extreme, if not more extreme, than Dead of Night. Miasma is restricted to those 18 and older, and patrons may only enter alone. Patrons will be restrained, blindfolded, smeared with blood, endure heavy physical contact, and more. It's invite only, however, and patrons who receive an invite commonly describe the instructions in the email to be very vague but clear, and that was to not share the location of where they're going with anyone, to show up alone, and do not show up late. If the instructions were ever disregarded, the experience would end. All guests are asked to refrain from sharing details of the experience, making it harder to get many details about what goes on inside. But some patrons have described their experiences to involve physical pain, often leaving with claw marks on their skin, psychological torture, emotional distress, and a lot of violence. Miasma can be very physically demanding, forcing patrons to sometimes crawl through tight spaces. One patron said she at one point forgot she was in a haunted house and tapped out when it started to feel like she was genuinely in a life or death situation. The location
this is why I don't go to any of these fucking things. They take it too fucking far.
The location always changes. Scarehouse, the basement. Underneath the regular, tamer attraction known as Scarehouse in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, used to lie what was known as the basement at Scarehouse.
Halloween's coming up, the time we're recording this, by the way, so
an interactive experience than that of the one upstairs. And it was held inside a nearly 100-year-old historic and apparently actually haunted building. It's been closed since COVID, but it's rumored to be returning soon. You may enter in pairs or alone, though odds are not many people will be entering this place alone. The actors in this haunted house are incredibly convincing, and there's a lot of improvisation and dialogue as you make your way through each scene of what's basically your own personal real life horror.
Oh, hell no.
It's not possible to make it from start to end without coming into contact
with that was coming at me, I'd kick it right in the face.
And messing around with you. There's extreme physical contact, sexual undertones, real electric shock, religious themes, very tight spaces, and much more. Like most attractions I'll talk about in this video, you must sign a waiver before entering.
I ain't signing no waiver. If I have to sign a waiver, that alone is a big no-no.
The patron happens to feel violated or too uncomfortable.
There's shady shit going on in these haunted houses, man, I swear.
The Cult was an attraction located in North Conway, New Hampshire. The Cult had been called the ultimate in terror, only for die-hard fans of true horror, for those who want the experience of real-life terror to test your fears. It was an hour-long attraction, and patrons had to walk through alone. Absolutely no groups allowed.
I ain't going nowhere alone like that.
Situations, and the actors would lay hands on you many times. As the nervous patrons meet a man before
you put hands on me and get kicked in the fucking face.
With darkness, heights, claustrophobia, eels, rats, bugs, needles, or being fully submerged in water. Most of the patrons were already nervous.
Who would go to these fucking things? Seriously.
Patrons were given a red card on a lanyard. If one decided the experience was too much,
I know I'm a horror fan, but when it comes to real life shit like this, I ain't going to that.
Patrons would be asked to step into a chairlift.
I kick that thing in the face if I saw it in the dark coming at me.
They would meet a man who would shove them into a booth, yell at them, spray them with unknown liquids, throw a bag over their heads, and then carry them outside, where the simulated torture continued. As patrons continued on, it only got worse. Throughout the attraction, patrons would encounter live animals. For example, being forced to have snakes or cockroaches crawl on them.
Oh, fuck that shit. Fuck that.
Drink what the actors would claim as animal urine, extreme violence, and much more. The Cult has been closed since 2013. The Blackout Haunted House was an attraction.
Okay, I've heard of this one before. I actually did a reaction not too long ago.
One in New York and one in California.
He had the horrible video on this haunted house reacted to a long time ago. Way back in the day, bro.
Physical contact, and patrons had to enter alone. Patrons were abducted in vans.
Going in alone is a big fuck that shit for me.
Down a hallway. Said hallway would lead to a scene with a horrifically tall figure and frail woman. And if I described the scene, this video would probably get age restricted.
See,
as a patron would pass, the tall man would stand up, exposing his body, and then threaten to make physical contact with the patron.
No.
Blackout overall relied on darkness, loud noises, violence, and sexual situations to terrify its customers.
No,
until around 2015, it had been a solo.
I don't sit well with that kind of shit.
Starting
man.
in, I believe, 2016 or 2017, patrons were allowed to enter in groups. It seems Blackout hasn't been open for the past 2 seasons. Freakling Brothers Victim Experience 3 is a Las Vegas attraction featuring extended submersion in water,
is that Spasm?
And extreme
the
physical
prop?
contact. The Victim Experience is extremely intense, and you must go through alone. One patron said he watched a camouflaged attacker appear out of nowhere, grab his colleague by the foot, and
oh hell no!
Drag her down a
That's
long
creepy right there.
Screamed. He was left alone in the darkness until the attacker came back for him and threw him over his shoulder. Patrons will experience electric shock at some point, as well as the feeling of near drowning as they're submerged underwater for extended periods of time. As the title of the attraction suggests, once you enter, you are a victim. You will experience pain and you will be tied up, and you may be carried and thrown. Freakling Brothers actually run 3 haunted houses every year.
Never going to any of these in my life.
Gates of Hell. The Gates of Hell became one of the first haunted houses in the country to be R-rated due to graphic content and the requirement of patrons to be over 18 and sign a waiver.
The fact that you had to sign a waiver, man.
Takes place in the Gates of Hell attraction, and it simulates what it would be believed to be like to die and actually go to hell. Without giving too much away, victims are put in several scenes where they're touched, forced to get down on their knees, and subjected to things that anyone would find uncomfortable.
Then why would you go to the fucking thing?
The Raven's Nest was one of the lesser-known extreme haunted houses, and it's been closed since 2009. It had been closed after it was deemed as too extreme by the town. Raven's Nest featured actors who were paid to induce pain on the patrons, as well as other humiliating methods of torture. The owner, Mike McNair, would hire mostly larger and more intimidating actors who would be capable of easily picking up, tying, or shoving patrons. Visitors would also be kicked to the floor and forced to do things like lick the ground, eat disgusting foods and liquids.
Oh my god!
And even have actors try to induce vomiting in the patrons. The attraction also played with claustrophobia, having patrons crawl through air vents.
That's a horrible picture, by the way.
And spiders. as well as constant tight and cramped rooms and pathways. There was no safe word,
Who would
which
want
may
to
have been
go
a
to
small
ship?
factor in the eventual closing of the Raven's Nest.
Fuck.
Many of you definitely have heard of this last one.
Yeah, McCady Manor, I've heard of that.
This San Diego attraction, if it could even be called that, shouldn't
It
even be in the
should.
same category as regular haunted house attractions.
Yeah, it's not even a haunted house. It's
This
basically a
place
hostel or
operates
saw
because
come
it
to
tends
life.
use extreme scare tactics that are off limits to professional attractions. It also can't be said that what goes on in this place is safe. Participants
It's not
are
safe.
covered
It's
in
just
blood,
torture porn.
forced to eat disgusting things, threatened with power tools, stuffed in a clothes dryer,
It's fucking
submerged
disgusting.
in water for extended periods, physically assaulted, and even given an unwanted haircut. Participants often leave.
I grab the scissors and cut your nuts off if you ever come at me with fucking scissors if you're not my barber.
There used to be no safe word, and they would only pull the plug when medically necessary. This place plays with people's fears of claustrophobia, with tight spaces and corridors.
No.
People's fears
No,
of spiders,
no.
stray victims having up to or even more than 4 tarantulas
That is
crawling over their
horrible.
faces. People's fears of clowns, and just about anything else you could think of. Perhaps one of the more shocking parts is that the experience can go on for up to 10 hours.
That is
Obviously, a big
fucked
contributor to
up.
why nobody's made it
10
through to the
hours,
end yet.
bruh,
For a long
of your
time, the
fucking
place
life
didn't
being
have a safe
destroyed.
word, and Russ, the owner, only added one after he was told he legally
Fucking
needed to.
jerk face.
But
I
even
hate
with
his
the safe
face.
word,
I hate his
apparently
voice.
the
I
torture
hate
can
his
go on for many
fucking...
people who repeatedly use the safe word, rendering it basically useless. McCamey Manor also garnered a lot of criticism regarding the $20,000 cash prize that they promised to anyone.
If you want to go to something like this, that's your business. I ain't sure it's fucking going to it.
Wouldn't allow anyone to win, because oftentimes the workers will decide for the patrons that they're done, even if the patron wants to keep going. McCamey Manor is self-described as a place for extreme horror lovers only, who wish to experience what true terror
I'm
and
extreme
gross
horror
out
lover.
torture
I ain't
feels
going
like.
to this kind of shit.
Apparently, there are a lot of people.
I know
who
Haunted
wish to
Acres is the
experience
only
it.
haunted house
There's
I
a
ever
waiting list of
go
more than
to.
20,000 people. There's currently a Change.org petition to close down McCamey Manor for good.
I signed that
with
petition.
Over 180,000 signatures. Thousands of people shun this place for claiming to be a haunted house attraction, and they believe it's simply a torture chamber under
It's
disguise.
fucking awful.
Russ's 40-page waiver is also very questionable, and he apparently misspells the word liable multiple times to attempt to make certain points of the waiver void.
Jeez.
Whatever your thoughts on this place are, anyone would admit it's the definition of a horror attraction that takes it way too far.
Yes, exactly. And the fact that there's people waiting to be in that haunted house, man. Like, I don't like physical touch by people in the first place, so I ain't going to any of these fucking haunted houses. Fuck that shit. It's not worth the suffering. If you want to go to these, more power to you, but I'm never going to a haunted house where they physically touch you. You physically touch me, I kick you in the balls, come out with scissors, stuff it down your fucking throat. But yeah, so with that said, y'all, thanks for watching, take care, see you in the last video, which will be, let's see what video I'm going to do, but it'll be like a short one. So yeah, thanks for watching, take care, see you guys in that video, peace.